Hello, Reds from around the world. Welcome to All For United. I am your host, Joe O'Neill, and I am ecstatic to be surrounded by some wonderful gentlemen and, of course, Mark Biggs, to discuss the upcoming fixture, the Manchester United versus Sheffield United. But I think the first question on everyone's lips is, Jamie, you are currently, well, not currently, but you are in your life sleeping with the enemy, and I've been dying to ask you, how was the couch last night?
The couch's leather, so it was cold.
But your heart was still warm. Your heart
I've never really looked at it, I'll be honest, Joe. I've never really looked at sleeping with the enemy, but I'll run that one past her when I've come off this stream.
If you say that to her, we'll probably never see you again, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Yeah. So, of course, like I said, we're going to be covering leading up to the Sheffield United game, touch on what we did well against Liverpool, what we need to work on, how we should set up against Sheffield United and what we should expect from them, and then also our score predictions and our first goal scorer. And Jacob's already in the comments with all right, lads, and we are more than all right because we're still on a high after beating the Scouse scum. But also, guys, if you want to be an opportunity to win some wonderful Football Town not memorabilia, gear, I guess. I'm going to be asking a question, but we have to get to 20 likes first. If we get to 20 likes, I'll be asking the question, and the first 5 people to comment into the group chat, into the thing here, into the live chat with the correct answer will be in with a chance to be put into a draw to win wonderful Football Town material. And everyone in this video as well is able to go into it, so make sure to do it. And we've so many people, we've a good amount of people tuning in right now. Please, guys, go to All For United on YouTube, subscribe, watch from there, get in the live chat, and it'll be great to have you. But the first thing we're going to touch on is we just beat the scum. What is it we need to work on? We'll go to you first, Jamie. What did we do really well against Liverpool that we should continue on with?
I just think we were brave. Like when the going got tough and they pulled it back to 2-2, that everything was in their favour. So I feel like we stuck to the plan. We didn't budge. We followed the process of the game plan that we'd set out to. I'm presuming Ollie would have briefed the boys if it does get to that point where it's quite nip and tuck that we need to sort of stick to what we've been working on. That was what impressed me the most. I thought I actually said to my partner in crime I felt that if anyone was going to steal it, it was going to be them at the end. I said that at 75 minutes, and then what happened. But I just felt like they were coming on strong. But I don't know, we've just got such a resolute team now, and I feel like it's probably the first time I've watched Man U Liverpool in a long time where I wasn't necessarily worried about them. I know they did a lot of good, and I thought Liverpool were good yesterday, but so were we in patches. But they probably nicked it over. The way I seen it is I think they were probably the better team yesterday, but like the better team doesn't always win, and it just showed a big, massive like character building from that team. Like no matter who's on that pitch at the moment in that red shirt, they seem so solid, like as in a team. And individual brilliance wins games sometimes, and that's what happened yesterday. But it's more like the team ethic for me and the solidarity as a group. Like it's like the group seems to get stronger, and we all know it's no secret that we've got the players to win games, like with individual bits of brilliance, but they're all working so hard for each other, and it's just really good to see, and I hope it continues because that's what we've lacked for a lot of years.
Absolutely. And guys, keep those likes coming in. We've a good amount of you watching. Get over to YouTube, like the video, and once we hit 20 likes, I will be giving a question out, and the first 5 people to answer in the live chat will be put into a draw with the correct answer, not just the answer, but put into a draw for a chance of some top class Football Town clothes. I guess I keep forgetting the word I'm supposed to. Gear. I think I'm going to stick with gear. We're going to go to Kai now, all the way over in Holland or Netherlands. Which way is the right way to say it? Is it Netherlands or is it Holland?
Yeah, the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. Apologies. I'm learning something new every day. Yeah. So what impressed you most about our win yesterday?
I think what impressed me the most was our mentality. I think on a few shows of that we did the last few Sundays, Abdel kept on mentioning that the mentality of the players needs to choose position, or if you are under attack, under constant pressure, how you respond to that, and also the ability to execute the plan. So I think that's what impressed me the most, the fact that, we went 1 goal down, but we never felt like we're going to be out the game. Like, I was so chilled for that whole time, which were 1-0 down. And I don't really necessarily agree that Liverpool were the better team at all, because I think there's this dangerous thing with United that every time a team dominates us for only 15 to 20 minutes, it's all of a sudden, oh, that team played very well, because it's the recent, it's what we remember. But the truth is, we actually really controlled them. I actually feel like it was a poor performance from Liverpool. I feel like they didn't press very well. We played around them. It felt like they weren't really up for it for a long, long time in that game. And of course, because of momentums in games, it's always like that. One team attacks for a long time, even if one team is dominant, but there'll always be that 10 to 15 minutes where you need to get your breath back, and then you have to sit back. It's by design. It's just how it is. You can never go full throttle for the full 90 minutes. But then in this case, you're facing a Liverpool team with actually good players and skilled players who can find some holes. So obviously within that 10 to 15 minutes, there's going to be a flurry of chances, because we're not playing against kids. We're playing against a real quality team. So I think at the end of the day, we did exactly what we intended to do. And the tactical change with Ole, with switching Pogba on the right-hand side. And as I mentioned before, people were saying, oh, no, he shouldn't play on that side because defensively this and that. But I actually think it serves us well offensively against a pressing team, because the ball comes all the way from Henderson, and Pogba just heads it down very well. And you can see he really gets those headers right. Also on his chest, he gets it on his chest too. So I think everything was by design. Everything just worked. And I think it was coming in a big game for something to finally work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And guys, keep the love coming in, keep the comments coming in. And don't forget that you have an opportunity to win some Football Town gear if once we get the video to 20 likes on YouTube. So make sure to come over and get that done. Mark, Captain Pessimism, what was your favorite thing about our win yesterday? What was your favorite part? What will take us forward into the next game?
My internet was on its knees a moment ago, so if I'm a bit choppy, I apologise. And if it gets that bad, I'll come back. Yeah, I mean, I echo what everyone else has said, really. I think it just proves every week, we seem to want to look at negatives from a Man United perspective and how we can work on things and are we going to have this more often? Are we going to come across this problem again? But every week we seem to be able to overcome those obstacles. And, people were moaning about we can't start quickly. We started very well yesterday. People moaned about, are we going to be able to come back from going down? And I know we've done that a lot recently, but you know what I mean? We keep sort of, Ollie seems to put out teams and is able to go against that grain and really make a song and dance about Manchester United and how well they're doing at the moment. And I was really pleased. I mean, there were still a couple of things, with the defensive frailties. But I think you're going to get that. I think with Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, we know that we're not going to be playing a high line. And because we were playing so attacking yesterday, it did catch us out on 2 occasions. Could have been more. But it was great to see that we were able to play like that, go in with a bit of conviction and come out the other side against arguably the best team in the last 2 years and get a win. And it was honestly, I said last night, I don't think since McTominay scored that goal against Manchester City last year, I don't think I've screamed and been so jubilant whilst watching it for a long time. And it was really great and very, very, very pleased. I mean, again, one other thing as well is I think everybody, including myself, was very concerned about when we don't have Bruno Fernandes in the team. But I think that, again, that's just kind of proven that we do have the right mentality, we do have the right squad players, and we do have the right personnel in order to still play that great, attractive football. And it was great to see.
Yeah, I think the most important thing was that we still were in somewhat control of the game. We were still putting up to Liverpool without our so-called only player. So for the fact of that, and we got Mason on the score sheet, and we got Rashford, which was fantastic. Rashford was excellent as well yesterday. And someone put up on Twitter, a Liverpool fan going mad, being like, "Oh yeah, you feel so great. You scored against a 19-year-old," and I was like, "Yeah, but a 19-year-old scored against him." Do you know? They're trying to put up all these injury woes and all like that, but at the end of the day, we weren't exactly playing our best team either. But I was absolutely chuffed with how we played yesterday. I will say I was a bit nervous when we were 1-0 down, and it's going to be the same as usual, but we came back strong and we went at them. But there is, as Mark said, even though when I asked him to just be positive, he did point out a couple of negatives from the defensive point of view. So if we're going forward, looking towards the Sheffield United game, Jamie, what are you taking from this game that might concern you against them?
I think it's a completely different game. They're going to set up a lot differently to Liverpool. They ain't going to come on to us like Liverpool did. So I feel like we're just going to have to adjust a little bit tactically and obviously play a lot more on the front foot. But I feel like we've got the capability to do that. Like last season, I wouldn't be so sure whether we were going to be able to break teams like this down that are sort of in a dogfight, and they are in a massive dogfight. These at the moment, they need points just as much as we do for different reasons. So it's a big game. Every game is a big game, but it's a very important game for us because we need to keep the pressure on, but they also need the points as well. For a completely different dimension of season, so it's going to be a tough game. I think there's not going to be a lot of space between the lines, so we're going to have to be a bit more creative the way we approach this game. Maybe a different formation. I don't know. We're going to have to be sure he's working at something, but it's a case of I'm expecting a tough game. It's up to us to take the game to them for like a completely different game at the weekend, as I've mentioned. So it might take. It is going to take a different game plan, maybe different personnel in certain positions, but I feel like we'll have the quality to get the job done, and we've got a lot of momentum going at the moment. But I think they're going to probably be a little bit more stubborn than people think on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. They sure. Oh, I don't even know. This is just a branding that was on. Yeah, we'll go to Kai on that. What do you think we need to work on going into the Sheffield United game?
Yeah, I just think, well, Ole said after the last match that he wasn't going to entertain any talk of this Liverpool game after the dust has settled, and all he wanted to hear is about how they're going to get on the next game. And he said to the reporter, you can ask me after the Sheffield United game what my thoughts are for the rest of the season, because he was basically just throwing a gauntlet onto the players to say, well, no complacency. Let me see what you guys can give me. Can you continue with the same pressure? So I expect us to be on the front foot. I'm obviously always wary of McGoldrick and his fantastic XG against the big teams. It's ridiculous. I do expect Sheffield to obviously cause us a bit of problems, because remember now, I think Sheffield United have nothing to lose, essentially. Like, I think they have 5 points, 6 points, something like that. I think everyone knows that this one is gone. So I think they'll just fight the same as they normally do, which is why their games normally don't end in very big defeats. They're always one of those, oh damn it, we're almost there. So of course it'll probably be a tight game again. But I really do expect us to come out firing. In the light of the Liverpool victory.
Yeah, where are you? There. Yeah, I should hope so. I am a bit concerned because this is the sort of game that we tend to drop points in, especially over the last 3 or 4 years, where a big victory would happen and then we just
used to
capitulate. Yeah, Emphasis on the word used to. Thank you, guys. Thank
We'll
you.
have to be good defensively against them. They're going to lump some balls in from the wide positions, so we'll have to be switched on defensively. But I think that win on Sunday will do so much for the squad, as in a confidence booster to say, right, let's go show them now.
Yeah.
So,
we'll go. Sorry, go ahead, Kai.
No, I just want to say, and I think defensively, I mean, look, against Liverpool, what I will say, though, is for me, I really don't care because it was a cup game. And it really was just a cup game. So I know it's tough to try separate them because it really seems like it's kind of like a league game and the form should translate. But yeah, I think they'll pose us a different type of problem to what Liverpool did. And I think we'll be ready for that.
Cool. Mark, we go to you now. From what you've seen on Sunday, you mentioned defensively. Is that where your problem is for the Sheffield United game, or will it be the fact us looking to break them down?
No, to be honest with you, neither. I absolutely agree with what Jamie was saying, that this is a very different game. And whilst we can go in all guns blazing and be relatively confident, you've always got the what ifs and the approach and how they set up, the players that we've got in order to stop whatever it is their approach might be. Yeah. But for me, we've got the squad to do it. I don't think we're going to struggle to break them down. I think that was what I was referring to earlier. I think that was a big problem for us last year. But we have, one way or another, Bruno, Van der Beek. I know we haven't played so much, but we've got the players in order to do that. We've learned and we've done that as a team in order to break down those teams, those low blocks, and be able to get some wins. And that's why we are where we are. We've seemed to have had this complete contrast this season where we're not really getting the points against the bigger clubs, but we're breaking down the lower block teams. But that's the best thing, because that's where you get the majority of your points from. And I said this last night, that's what Alex Ferguson did for a number of years, especially later on. He would make sure that he was grinding out and getting results against the lower teams, and then he would probably sit back and counter against the bigger teams. I think that, Ollie isn't always trying to do that approach. And I think that's why we've been caught out a little bit against Man City, for example, in the EFL, is because we're trying to be attacking from the off, and we got caught out with that. I think our defense is okay. It's not great. There are still problems. We haven't been found out as many times as I thought. And I think that will probably apply tomorrow night, Wednesday night as well. But I think as far as breaking them down, I don't think we will really have a problem with that. And I'd like to believe I'm relatively confident for Wednesday.
There we are. I'll be the same. And guys, there's a good amount of you watching. Please come over if you want to be in a chance to win some Football Town. Really, really cool t-shirts and a bit of gear. Please make sure to like the video. And once we hit 20 likes on this video, I will ask a question, and the first 5 people to answer the question correctly, including the people in the chat here, they can do it, including the people in the video. And the first 5 people to get that correct answer will be put into a draw where they can potentially win some Football Town gear. And yes, Mark, you look lovely.
That's not even what I asked.
He just put into the private chat, guys, I'm feeling a bit self-conscious. No one has said how gorgeous I am today. Would one of you mind giving me just a wee little compliment? And I took the point.
I can confirm that's what happened.
Yeah, right. let me just actually confirm these two are talking bollocks, and I said, is my internet okay?
Oh yeah. Oh, is your internet okay? As if anyone's going to believe you would ask that.
With the poor computer.
We'll get him in the chat for you.
The Athletic reported, so I'm trusting the source. Fabrizio
Romano has confirmed that yes, that is true.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay. To keep this chat going, we were touching on a bit there what we expected from Sheffield United. But is there anything we need to fear from them, Jamie, or is it a case of it's just a matter of time before we score? Or if we I know, look, we kind of go into him and Han here, but this should be a game we should be putting 3 or 4 past them. I know Sheffield United haven't been defending lately, but they have only got 5 points. We are at home. We just beat the champions. We're on a great run, but it's about time we put a couple of goals past them. Do you expect it to be that kind of game, or will it be a struggle?
Yeah, I think I'm expecting us to win the game. I don't think it will be comfortable in areas, but you're not going to get a comfortable game against a team that are in a complete dogfight. So although I completely agree with what Kai said earlier, they're practically fan base know it, but they'll play for pride. The manager's a local lad. He ain't going to want to see his boys go down easily. So they're going to try hard until the end of the season. And then what will be, will be. But I'm expecting us to get the job done, 1 or 2-0, maybe 3-0 at a push. But I feel like our biggest enemy in the game on Wednesday is ourselves and complacency. And I feel like we've got that out of our system now. I don't think we're very complacent now, whereas a couple of seasons ago, these would be the kind of games we were all going into expecting 3 and 4 goals, and we weren't getting them. We were scraping a 1-0, or we were drawing these types of games. So for me, too much character in that team now, too much of a feel-good factor in our team to get beat in these sorts of games now. So I'm expecting us to get the job done, but as I say, a couple of sticky little patches, but it's expected at this level of football.
Yeah. I would be the same as you. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think Sheffield United are a lot better under 5 points, are telling you.
Very interesting to see what the back four is for me, for the centre-back pairing. I'm expecting Lindelof and Maguire, but purely because they're better in the air. I don't particularly agree that Lindelof's better in the air than Bailly, but I think he will go with them too, because they were solid against Liverpool, and to be fair, you can't really knock them.
Kai, for yourself, we have one eye on this and one eye on Arsenal at the weekend, which is apparently still a big game. Do you see there'll be a bit of rotation, or for the fact that there was a few players rested against Liverpool, are you expecting a full strength United or somewhat full strength?
To be honest, I don't know what full strength United is. Did you see that bench against Liverpool? I can just smile, sorry. So I mean, look, whatever team that we put out, I expect to win, because I think Ole really does trust the team that he has now. And I don't think that there can be too many excuses, and again, like Jamie said, I completely agree. It's about complacency. We are our own enemy against Sheffield United. So I do think, though, that Matic will probably get a start. Probably will play with Matic and Pogba in there. Probably Martial maybe might come in. Rashford goes to the right, something like that. But I still do expect that we'll win. And yeah, I mean, Arsenal is Arsenal. I think Ole is managing the squad really well. He's not changing too much. He's just changing enough for what that game requires. And you can actually see, you can almost tell, what team is going to play the next game. So I think he's got that, in check. And look, the Arsenal game, I don't know how to look at Arsenal anymore. It's Arsenal. They'll probably win for the banter. You know what I mean? Like, they'll probably win and then celebrate. That's probably what's going to happen, So yeah, that's my general thoughts. It's just one of those, it's just.
Mark, would your eyes be one of your eyes be on the Arsenal game, or is that game really as big as it is, as we still believe it to be? Should it just be full strength Wednesday and full strength on the weekend as well, or do you think there'll be a bit of resting?
Well, I think this is the great situation we're in the minute. As Kai rightly said, we don't know what our best 11 is now, and that's a great problem to have. If I'm sure, Ollie always talks about, and we've said so many times, you take it one game at a time, but he will be looking at 1 or 2 games in front of him for absolutely sure.
Yeah.
So I think that, whatever team we play, we've got enough to go again against Arsenal at the weekend. I think in Ollie's eyes, due to, losing to them earlier in the year, and for some reason being a team that we would struggle against in the last few years, I think that this will be something else that's sort of firmly implanted into his mind. And I do think he will have one eye on Sheffield, on Arsenal. I can imagine he'll probably save a couple of players like McTominay, Fred, and maybe Lindelof. I could maybe expect to see Bailly against Sheffield United on Wednesday, particularly against a couple of quick forwards, really, not really scoring goals, but someone that you need one-on-one. And I appreciate that's obviously the same thing against Arsenal. However, they're not really scoring either. And I know that, and we all know that Lindelof and Harry is his favoured too against the bigger teams, at least. So, I mean, it's very difficult to call at the moment. I think every week when I try to predict a first 11, it's almost impossible to get it completely right.
Yeah.
And that's a good problem to have. You don't want to be, a year ago, maybe less than that, when we were putting out that same formation of 4-2-1-3-1 or whatever it is, 4-2-1-1. And then and now we're not in that boat. That's a good thing to have, because now you can understand that other teams are probably looking at it and thinking, okay, well, we don't know what we're going to put out either. So that's a good thing. I think from Sheffield United perspective, just very quickly, they are desperate for points. They are desperate to get a win. They are desperate to be able to put out a performance and come out on top. And for some reason, and this isn't me being big-headed in any way, but I do believe that a lot of teams like to turn up to prove a point against Manchester United, against Manchester City, against Liverpool. So it's not going to be straightforward, but I think we need to see more 3-4, 5-0 wins, that sort of thing. And I think that this would be the perfect opportunity to do so.
I have to agree with you. I think that's what we are lacking. It's just that kind of statement of intent of that we're not just winning matches, but we're beating teams. And by the way, guys, do you see the revelation that Charlie Austin came out with today? We're not going to touch on this for too long because it's a little bit depressing. That Man United, he said that United had the option to buy Lindelof and Van Dijk at the same time and chose Lindelof. So that's Jose Mourinho for you. Is anyone just dead?
No, but to be fair though, Van Dijk didn't look like he was going to be that good.
Yes, he did.
He was
Yes,
I remember Martial breaking his ankle and then helping him to stretch his calf muscle afterwards and getting stretched off or something. Like he was okay. I'll tell you what. He was always a good athlete, but he was. No one would have expected that he was going to be as great as he is now.
I'll tell you a story. Okay, I will tell you a story, and you're going to listen to it right now. There was, and I don't want to talk. I'm literally going to say this and then just go.
Jose is horrible, though.
Yeah, Jose is horrible human being. But when Van Dijk was signed for Celtic, Neil Lennon looked at him on his first day of training and just said to him, have fun here, pick up a few medals. You're going to be winning the Champions League in a couple of years. He just said he was a class above. And it's a case of no one goes straight from Celtic to a top club, so they had to go to someone else in between. But like, it was obvious to the world, he just needed good players around him.
What was it? Van Dijk Wanyama for under £1 million or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely. And like, Stuart, how are you, Stuart? Good to see you. Mourinho would have no problems with Van Dijk. They would have had problems with it. You're dead right. Like Mourinho would have a scrap with his mirror, because I genuinely can't say right now.
Van Dijk wouldn't have looked the defender he is even under Mourinho too, because he would have literally been setting a back five, just getting the ball away half the time, and
let's have a chat here on what we think the starting 11 will be. We'll get a vote in. I will decide if person goes to position, but we'll do a row of hands. So we'll say De Gea in goals. And guys, get your comments in. Don't forget, once I get the 20 likes, I'll be asking a question. The first 5 people answer it correctly in the group chat will be put into a draw for some class football town clothing. I guess the right gear. I don't know what the right word is. I can never think of it. So in goals, so I don't know what likes are on now. Ben, Mark, will you keep me updated? Would you just check YouTube there quickly? And Jamie's here. Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining. So we'll go on goals. We'll say De Gea and goals. Everyone kind of fine with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Henderson wasn't too impressive against Liverpool, but he's still good. Jamie's come in with that's a good lineup, but we'll see if we stick to it. Okay, right back, AWB, yeah.
Yeah.
And Shaw left back, or would you think Tellez will sneak in for?
Maybe.
Might be, actually.
Okay, so that's a maybe. So Mark, are you saying? I think we got two maybes. Do you think Tellez might come in for Shaw for this game?
I'm going to say no.
Against Liverpool, I thought
Thanks, Hammer.
Tellez might have come in then, but we haven't seen him, and I think he's undroppable at the moment. So I think Shaw's going to start.
I would agree. I think Shaw should start. But I think there's also in the back of his mind, he's like, I need to get Tellez minutes because you never know, Shaw might get an injury. You need to keep his fitness up. So I'm gonna say Tellez for this argument, just because I do think he needs a bit of running, needs to get a bit of minutes in, and you're playing bottom of the table at the best time. So
I think Shaw's better in the air. I think that's why you might pick Shaw.
That's very true, actually. And where are we? We're looking for Harry Maguire will start anyway because he starts every game. Beside him, I think is that's a nod.
I'd like to see Bailly.
And so we're going with three in midfield as well. We looking at Matic?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we haven't seen Matic, have we? So I would have thought he would start.
And then Pogba and Bruno, or do we think Pogba will be dropped for? Not that he's playing badly, but just for.
Nah,
I think Pogba will play. I don't think he's played enough so far to deserve.
Rested, Joe. It's called rested, not dropped. Rested.
Sorry, I meant rested. Okay, thank you, Kai, for the translation.
See his Dutch elegance coming out there.
Yeah. And guys, as we're halfway through the team, I don't know if we're halfway through the likes yet. Please get it to 20 likes. I'll be asking a question then. I presume everyone who's in this video has already liked the video, yeah? And I see my Kai's shocked expression.
My phone's right over there, mate. So.
Oh, it's the phone's fault. It's the phone's fault. Hamid came.
Have you seen that cat?
Yeah, Hamid said at work, but came to y'all alike. Thank you, Hamid. Someone cares. So get it to 20 likes, guys. I'll be then asking a question, and then whoever answers correctly, the first 5 people will be put into a draw to win some Football Town merchandise. I think that's the word I'm going to go with. So we're looking at Pogba is going to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bruno, because it must be Bruno if he was rested the weekend.
Yeah,
I think so.
And the front three, can Martial really be brought back in? Maybe just to drop Cavani played twice in a week.
Have any of you heard anything about Marcus's knock?
Yeah, so I think isn't he going to miss this game? So I think we'll probably see Cavani, Greenwood, and Martial.
Daniel James probably. This is one of those games. I can see it happening.
That's true.
Let me just check this. Oh yeah, Dan James. Okay, we can give Dan James a shout if you want. Jamie is coming with Fred and a Pogba double pivot. Looks good to me as of late. Well, Fred, I'm starting to really love Fred, and I think we need him more against Arsenal rather than Sheffield United. I think Matic.
True. Yeah.
I think that's why it would be for me it'd be Matic. But then after that, so we're looking at Dan James, Martial, and Greenwood. Maybe give Cavani a rest. Come on if we need him.
Yeah, probably. I think that's probably the most likely. Now that you said James, sorry, I forgot all about him, and that's not me being horrible. But I think that now you've mentioned James, it's quite possible. Or even Mata. Mata. But I think Cavani might be rested. I think Martial will probably start.
And then it's do you think Diallo will be in the squad?
Ooh, before we get into that conversation, guys, we're 4 likes off getting to 20, which means I can ask the question to put people in a draw for Football Town gear or whatever. Merchandise, whatever it is. I keep forgetting. So please get 4 more likes in wherever you're watching. Come over to YouTube. All for United, get 4 likes in. I can ask the question then, and then the first 5 people answered correctly can be put in with a chance for winning some wonderful Football Town merchandise. Now we can move back in. Diallo, I think this is a perfect game for Diallo to at least be on the bench. Are we in kind of agreement there? If we had a handy FA Cup 4th round draw, I think he would have been, he would have got a bit of game time. But I think to be on the bench if we go 2 up or whatever, to be brought in, I think it's fantastic.
Could be.
I think you're absolutely right. I think he may be in the squad. I don't think that's a given, and he will definitely come on if we're 2 or 3-0 up.
Yeah, I just want to see him like Ronaldo to get 12 minutes and just to run riot on an already miserable end. Just like against Ronaldo, just like against Bolton when he made his debut.
Beautiful game.
Think of magic. So before we finish up, we have 3 likes left, guys, and I really want to get to 20, so we'll be here all night, I think. We all know Van de Beek won't start. Yeah, Van de Beek won't start. I don't know when he'll get it next game. I think in probably against when are we playing West Ham in the FA Cup? It's relatively soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's too far away.
So I'd imagine his next live game will be against
Mark will tell you.
Yeah.
The 10th
phone's over there, lads. Sorry.
The 10th of February.
10th of February.
Yeah. So that is. Hang on. I'll tell you what day.
David Moyes masterclass.
That is a Wednesday. Wednesday, the 10th of February.
Of course, the last time we played West Ham, we did win in the FA Cup. We did win the FA Cup, so hopefully it's a good omen. And before we finish up here, does anyone have any pressing things they want to cover? Or else we will just discuss possible transfers or anything that gets us to enough time that's 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 likes worth of time.
I would like to say though, how did Lampard get fired so early?
Because he should have never got the job in the first place.
Steve Bruce is in the same league, guys. Like, season's not over. Like.
Yeah.
I never thought naughty that apparently Tuchel's been in London self-isolating for 10 days.
Oh my God.
They're bringing a German in to try and get Timo Werner to learn how to play football again.
But on the real, that's where you do see that, Solskjaer winning a league with Mulder probably helped. It's probably 10 years of experience that Lampard could have used. Because there was times which Lampard would be shouting against the most experienced managers on the touchline. You don't see that so obviously so often. And it's like such red flags. And I'm like, he hasn't really, known how to 2 years he's had in football, and I think the comparisons were probably premature with Ole and all the other managers. He needs another 3 years probably somewhere.
I was sitting in the office and a guy just walked past me in the office and I didn't even know about Lampard. We don't have radios or anything in our office because it's like a financial sort of job. And a guy just walked past and goes, Romans put Frank in the gulag. I was just like,
oh my God.
I was like, he's clearly been sacked there. I was like, oh my God. What a way to put it.
Such a shame.
Okay, I want to, Mark. I've been you've been a bit vocal on Twitter about this, so I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about Frankie. I'm gonna give you the full screen.
Thank you, mate. That's lovely. I feel I never thought I'd say this, but I feel incredibly sorry for him. I think, fortunately, he was always probably going to go and manage Chelsea, but it was at the wrong time. I'm not saying that he has the credentials to take Chelsea forward in that way, or even if he's a good manager, but he has a lot to learn. And I think this really goes to show how Chelsea are structurally as a club. And I think that, the difference between... when Mourinho first came in to Chelsea, when Ancelotti was there, Hiddink, they were able to do that and quick fire, bring someone in, spend a load of money and sack them in 2 years because they had that spine there that Mourinho originally brought in. They had that spine of the team of Cech, of Drogba, of Essien and Terry. So they could afford to do that. there was always a consistency within that team. But this is the first time in however many years it is, 15 years, where that spine is no longer there. And you're going to give it to someone who is a legend at the club, absolutely, arguably their best ever player, to come in and do a job that is almost impossible. And I feel incredibly sorry for him, and I never thought I'd say that. You know, I can't really stand Chelsea. Yeah. A couple of my Chelsea mates, we argue all the time, but I really feel that he came in at the wrong time, and it will only be 2 more years if Tuchel comes in and isn't able to get everybody singing from the same hymn sheet, and he'll be gone as well. And it's been very unfortunate for him. Very unfortunate.
I couldn't give a shit about him. I'm glad he's sacked. He's an arrogant bollocks. So he deserves a sack. He should have never got the job in the first place. We've hit 20 likes. Thank you, Stuart. He just said as I said it. So we're going to have 2 minutes for you guys to answer this question. And you guys can answer it as well who are in the video with me, but you just need to do it in the live chat, which we know Jamie can't do because he doesn't have his phone on him. The question is, who scored Manchester United's second goal against Sheffield United in the 3-3 draw last season? Who scored Manchester United's second goal in the 3-3 draw against Sheffield United in Bramall Lane last season?
Mark's Google it.
He can Google all he wants. Doesn't make a difference. No, I'm not, mate. I know the answer. The first 5 people to say the correct answer in the live chat will be put into a draw to win some Football Town merchandise. And let me just make sure I have it right myself. Do you guys want to take a stab? Do you know who it is?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but I'm going Mark's route.
You go my route. I'm not Googling, mate. I was actually
you're not Googling.
I'm ready to press enter, but I didn't think we were going to call it out like yesterday. Poor Keno, he made that mistake, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did give it a shout out. Well, we got 2 in so far. We need 3 more, guys, for the video's over. To get the correct answer, but we will see it out shortly. My thoughts on Lampard. I couldn't give a shit about it. I'm glad he's gone. I'm hoping that finally some of the journalists that gave him far too much respect will put that respect over to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who has done far more in a short time at United than Lampard has, but is seemingly still seen as a PE teacher. So
the way I see it at Chelsea is if you can sack the likes of Mourinho, Conte, and Ancelotti, if you Sarri, world class proven winners. Why you're not going to sack Lampard? It was just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time. Jamie, Brendan, and Stuart, you were in the draw for the Brendan there twice. Are in the draw for the Football Town merchandise. I'll get 2 more when they comment in, maybe after the video was up. But you guys are in anyway. Everyone in the video, thanks so much. Make sure to follow the guys on their social medias, which they will point out incorrectly by pointing at it right now. Go on, Mark, try point at it right the first time. He did it. Kai, try point at it right the first time. He did it wrong. Jamie, try point at it right the first time.
What is going
on? Jamie made a balls of it as well. All you have to do is do this. There it is. Shit, there it is. Yeah.
Honestly, don't.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Make sure to share this video around to get as many eyes on as possible. Make sure to also like the video if you haven't done it already, and make sure to stick around for the Women's Weekly Chat, which will be on right after the show about 7:30 with Jonathan, and subscribe to the channel and all those lovely things. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Cardiff will be doing
see you again, lads. Good to get back on with us.
Good to see you as well, Jamie. Cardiff will have the pre-match stuff. We're kicking off at 8 o'clock, so we'll be going from about 10 to 7. So make sure to join us for that, and then join us for the post-match when we beat Sheffield United 18-1. You heard it here first. Oh, sorry, yeah, goal scorer and first prediction. Quickly, Jamie, who's going to score first and goal final prediction?
I fancy Mason for a goal, and score prediction 2-0.
2-0. For yourself, Mark?
4-0, Bruno first goal scorer.
Kai, for yourself?
3-1 United, Bruno hat-trick, and a John Egan outstretched leg for a pen. Or McGoldrick to score his customary 1 goal against the big guns.
I wonder what the odds are on that. That
I
sounds
think it's 1-1 on. I don't think he had anything back. I'm gonna say 3-1. I'm gonna say Matic with a goal. Fuck it, why not? Anyway, guys, like I said before, and we'll see you.